The city of Crestwood buzzed with the usual afternoon chaos, car horns blaring, hurried footsteps echoing on the pavement, and the golden sun stretching long fingers of shadow across the streets. But beneath the surface of normalcy, something was off. Lena James, a formidable attorney with a reputation for tearing through injustice like a blade through silk, sensed the shift before she saw it. She had just left a tense client meeting, the weight of her latest case pressing against her mind as she strode toward her vehicle. That's when the patrol car screeched to a halt beside her. Before she could process what was happening, two uniformed officers leaped out, their movements sharp and deliberate. "Lena James, you're under arrest," one of them barked, his badge flashing in the afternoon light. Her brows knitted in confusion. "Excuse me?" The response was cold steel against her wrists. The handcuffs clicked shut, and just like that, she was shoved into the back of the squad car. No explanation. No rights read. Nothing. The charge? Assaulting an officer during a protest weeks ago. Lena's mind reeled. She had been there, yes, but she had stood in peaceful defiance, not violence. How could they twist the truth so easily? The walls of the patrol car closed in around her as the city blurred outside the window. This was no misunderstanding. Someone wanted her silenced. A battle begins. At the station, Lena was tossed into a holding cell, a cold, sterile box designed to break people down. But she was no ordinary detainee. She replayed the arrest in her mind, piecing together the cracks in their story. The way the officers refused to meet her gaze. The way they ignored her questions. The way it had all been executed with eerie precision. Then, a name surfaced, Officer Tom Harris. Lena had heard of him before. His reputation in the department was like a stain no one could wash out. Accusations of excessive force, mysterious case dismissals, and a string of complaints that never saw the light of day. If he was involved, this wasn't just a wrongful arrest. This was a setup. The realization sent a chill down her spine. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore. This was bigger. The first strike. By morning, Lena stood before the judge, her longtime legal partner, Sarah Williams, by her side. But even Sarah, seasoned, unshakable Sarah, looked rattled. Lena listened carefully as the judge rattled off the charges, but her mind was already moving ahead, dissecting every angle, every flaw in their case. When Harris's name was mentioned, it all clicked into place. They weren't just trying to arrest her. They were trying to bury her. The second she was released on bail, Lena went to work. She wasn't about to sit back and let them get away with it. Her first move? Assemble a team. She called in trusted allies, investigators, reporters, even a few former officers who had seen too much and had kept silent for too long. This wasn't just a case anymore. It was a war. And she was leading the charge. Pulling the thread. Digging into Harris's past was like prying open a locked vault, dangerous and full of secrets. And the deeper she went, the worse it got. Bribes. False arrests. Evidence tampering. A whole underground web of corruption. Then came the message. Late one night, as Lena pored over files in her dimly lit office, her phone buzzed. A voicemail. A low, gravelly voice whispered through the speaker. "Walk away. You don't know what you're dealing with." Lena set the phone down, her heartbeat steady. They wanted her scared. They wanted her to back down. But they had underestimated her. Justice served. The next morning, armed with irrefutable evidence, Lena stormed into the police chief's office. Harris wasn't just a crooked cop, he was running a criminal enterprise from within the department. And Lena had everything to prove it. The chief's face darkened as he sifted through the evidence. Within hours, an internal investigation was launched. By nightfall, Harris was in handcuffs. And he wasn't alone. A cascade of arrests followed, officers, officials, all tangled in the same corruption that had nearly swallowed Lena whole. The system cracks. News spread like wildfire. The lawyer who had been wrongfully arrested had just dismantled an entire network of dirty cops. But for Lena, the real victory wasn't just clearing her name. It was proving something bigger, that sometimes, the ones who are locked away are the very ones who hold the key to justice. She hadn't just fought the system. She had changed it,